Hello, thank you for joining me for Jay's Yoga in Bed. We're going to go ahead and get started. Lying on our backs, we may choose to have our legs flat or pull our knees flat on the bed with our feet flat on the bed with our knees pointing toward the sky. Focusing our breathing down low into our diaphragms. Nice, slow breathing. Our bellies rise on the inhale and fall on the exhale. Taking the time to just be present in this moment, leaving any troubles and worries behind. Now transitioning to the three-part yogic breath, diaphragm, upper lungs, hold, and nice long exhale. Taking your time, following your own breath, your own pace. I'll try to pause at each transition so that everyone can kind of move together, but this type of yoga allows everyone to sort of move with your own breath, move with your own pace. We're initiating the poses on the inhale, for example. Breathing in, breathing out. So trying to keep your breath the focus of moving today as we're moving through these poses, trying to concentrate on your breath. And of course, remembering, like right now, you can't hear me and I'm actually not breathing. Well, I am breathing, but I'm trying to just focus on the transitions between the poses, making them as smooth and easy as possible. Of course, remembering any limitations or anything you need to be aware of so that you are protecting your body. This should not hurt. If it does hurt, then go back to something that's a different relaxation pose for you. Now we're going to bring our right knee up on the inhale and then exhale, pulling it deep, deep up to the chest. Now breathing easily, pointing and flexing that foot. Active arms, using all of our muscles in our arms. Possibly trying to bring that knee up a little bit if we can on the exhale. Now turning to the right. And turning to the left. Then next inhale, we're going to straighten that leg. Exhaling, find a comfortable place for that leg. Really allowing that hamstring and the calf to stretch as we can. We have to be careful when our leg is straight like this when we're flexing because it kind of engages different muscles. Loving our legs, so grateful for the movement. If you choose, on the exhale, you may move that leg closer and closer to the head of your bed. Notice my leg just naturally bent, so that's fine. Do it whatever feels comfortable for you for today. And on the next inhale, we'll release that leg, and exhaling back to the bed. And the next inhale, raising that knee up, exhaling to the chest, remembering that when we pull up, what that does is it loosens our lower back and our hip. So pulling in that leg as tight as we can. On the exhale, pulling up if we can. And remembering any modifications or any alterations you may need to do. Full of breath, flexing and pointing that foot. Really paying attention to the messages our bodies are giving us today. And of course, always remembering that our sides may not be perfectly equal. And the best thing to do is just be patient and non-judgmental of yourself, even according to the last time you did yoga. So now we're going to turn to the left. We tend to favor like our right, if you're right-handed, it tends to be that your right leg is stronger and more muscular than your left leg. Also, of course, in America, we're driving with our right leg and our left leg isn't quite as active, so usually it's a little bit smaller. And then on the inhale, straightening that leg. On the exhale, pulling it just gently. When we start to feel that stretch, that's when we need to stop pulling, just for a couple breaths. I heard an interesting thing for all you sort of leg tappers and hand tappers. John Tesh was doing, talking about tapping our feet and stuff like that. And he said if we do that, it actually helps blood circulation because it keeps the blood flowing throughout the body even if we may be sitting. Unfortunately, we're doing a lot more sitting than we used to, and our bodies are paying the price. So you'll notice that my left leg doesn't want to go nearly as far as my right leg, or at least feels that way to me, and that's perfectly fine. On the next inhale, we're going to release that leg back down. Foot flat on the bed. And just pausing a moment here. On the next inhale, we're going to raise both of our knees toward our chest. Little hug. Placing our hands on our knees, we're going to move in small circles, pushing away from our belly first. And now changing direction, pulling those knees toward the belly first, and then just gentle circles, waking up those hips, loosening them up. One thing I also have learned about those of us who sit too long is to make sure that we're getting up at least every hour. So I've tried to add movement to my day. So I started out doing like 5 jumping jacks. And now I'm up to either 30 or 40, depending on how I'm feeling in that moment. Making coffee with your Keurig. Do some push-ups with your arms on the cabinet, on the counter. Not the cabinet, the counter, unless you're like 8 feet tall. Okay, and stopping and pausing here, keeping our feet up, okay, flat, parallel with the bed. We're going to place our hands behind our head, and we're going to gently, and this is a little harder to keep the movement going just because our lungs and our diaphragms are a little bit squished. So try to get in your own little rhythm where you're moving and you're just really tightening those core muscles. I'm going to try laying down just a little. Still a little awkward. This time we're going to double time it. So we'll go 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and 1, 2. If this doesn't work, don't do it. 1, 2, and 1, 2, and last one, 1 and 2. And let that back and let those abs sort of release. Let those feet be flat on the bed, straightening out our arms in a T. We're going to just roll our neck back and forth, easy, easy. And placing our hands by our hips. We're going to do active bridge. I just want to remind anyone or tell anyone who hasn't seen these videos, yes, my bed is at a slight incline, so I hope that these look fairly straight. I'm trying to keep it looking straight on the video. So for the active bridge, we're going to activate our feet. We're going to push our hips up, and then if we choose, we may use our arms up. I have to scoot down, and then inhale or exhale, arms and hips go down. Moving with your own breath, do as many as feels right for today. Sorry, and then knees to chest. Remembering to pull up on the knees, really activating those thighs. Try to push up a little bit more if we can. Last set. And taking a moment here. Yogic breath. Now we're going to do what I call snow angels with our arms. So on the inhale, raising the arms up, and then on the exhale, sorry, that's a little hard to see. Baby girl, can I move you? Sorry, honey. Okay, so inhaling up, and then exhaling back down to the hips. You may be on the bed or slightly hovering over, moving with your own breath. Be gentle with those shoulders. Piper, honey. Pipe, don't. No animals are hurt in the creation of these videos. But sometimes Piper has her sassy pants on. And we gotta love her for being an independent little cat, having a mind of her own. Now pausing here. I love it when she sits on my feet. Now we're going to move in the opposite direction. So inhaling up and exhaling back down to the hips. Moving with your own breath. Piper, honey, this isn't going to work. Go on. And last one. We're going to gently, gently pull our shoulder blades together, really flattening out that upper back, and it kind of pushes the belly up a little bit. That's fine. Just be gentle. And what we're going to do is we're going to lift that right leg up, and then we're going to lift that left leg up, and then we're going to come down into cobbler or butterfly, and then we're going to go back to the straight legs called staff, and then we're going to come down, knees to chest, moving with our own breath. We are inhaling when we initiate the staff, exhaling for cobbler or butterfly, inhaling for staff, and exhaling for knees to chest, moving with your own breath. Remembering, try to go a little bit further if we can. Really pushing those knees down on this one. You might want to widen those legs. Last set. Really pushing those arms nice and straight. Really feeling that stretch in the inner thigh. And up for staff. And then we're going to let the left leg fall. Foot flat on the mat, or bed, sorry. Ankle crossing over in the point that feels comfortable. Remember, you may use a strap or something if it's helpful. Threading that right hand through. We're going to straighten that left leg, and for now we're going to hold underneath and just find a place that feels comfortable. You might want to rock a little bit to pull those hip bones and pelvic bones up. Just gently, gently. And of course, remember, there are lots of variations of this. You may have your leg in whatever position is comfortable for today. Nice, full of breath, and nice long exhale. Now, if you feel up to it, reach up that left leg a little bit. Trying to breathe as deeply as possible, really stretching out that right hip. Finding the position that feels the most comfortable other than corpse. Remember that in yoga what we're doing is we're flexing and strengthening. So we're flexing, we're stretching, and we're strengthening. So as we're loosening these muscles, just let them release. Feel that right hip. Just release and feel amazing. Our muscles are so happy when we use them and treat them with respect. Do you feel up to it? Walking your hands up a little farther. And straighten that right leg to match the left. Oops, letting that right leg fall down to the mat. Left ankle over that right knee. Threading that left hand through and holding underneath the knee. Rocking just a little. The hips may not feel the same, and that's okay. Nice deep breathing. Finding the position that feels comfortable for you for a gentle stretch. Not too far. Listen to our bodies. And the train, if you can hear it. I don't know if you're noticing, but I tend to close my eyes because I'm feeling the pose more than looking at it. And when we're new to yoga and things like that, it's helpful to see, but then just really close your eyes and be in the pose. Breathe and feel. One of the reasons yoga is meditative is because we're totally focusing on our breath and our body and our belly, apparently. And that kind of helps us to quiet the mind and focus on just peace, movement, flexibility, strength, and loving and respecting our body. And if you feel up to it, walking the hands above the knee, above that crossed ankle. Always being grateful for taking the time to do yoga practice. I say all yoga is good yoga. And a lot of times I'll do these poses just when my body starts to feel tight. I'll say, okay, well, I need to do this one. Or let me stretch those arms out. Let me stretch that back out. Pulling forward, really releasing that hip. Be gentle. Using straps if needed. Activate those arms, activate those legs. Walking your hands up if it feels comfortable. And we're going to let the arms go into a T. We're going to pull the legs forward and then just gently breathing, allowing those legs to slowly fall. Go as far as you can. It's okay if you need to drop. Lower those shoulders nice and steady. Deep breathing. And releasing. Sometimes it feels like you're never going to get to the bed. Where did it go? Is it still there? There we go. Nice deep breathing. Ah. Now we're going to do the reverse. Take a nice deep breath. Tighten that core. Bring those legs up. Give them a little loving on those calves. Grateful for our feet. Grateful for the movement we can do with them. Grateful for our flexibility and our bodies. And releasing down. Really paying attention to how it feels. As we're dropping our legs, we can feel how different parts of our body are releasing and are activated and are being used. So if you feel up to it, let's do one more. If you don't, just lay here and focus on your breathing. So inhaling up. Loving on those calves, loving on the back of those knees, loving on those ankles. Remember using straps if needed. Just gently when we pull, we really help release those hamstrings. I don't know about you, but my hamstrings are almost always what needs a little bit more attention. And it probably has to do with the fact that I sit a lot at my job. Getting cat hair in my lip gloss. All right, so now we're gonna just gently and slowly, arms in a T. That helps give us a sense of balance and connection to the bed. And low and slow and lower and slow. Feeling the legs. I can feel mine wobble. Woo! I don't know if yours are wobbling. And down. And totally release the whole body. No tension, no pressure anywhere in the body. Nice deep breathing. We're going to raise our knees up and put our hands into prayer position and roll over into fetal position. Taking a moment here, we're going to be transitioning onto our stomachs. Nice deep breath. Or you can stack in a different way if it feels more comfortable. Remember, the one thing we want to do is don't move so fast that we're either injuring ourselves or getting dizzy. Also, for those of you who are new to these videos, it can be helpful to eat a little bit. Eat something with protein or carbs. I would not recommend a beer or wine, but that may be what you do. I don't know. It's up to you. It's your journey, right? I'm going to roll over, and we're going to start first on our hands and knees. Ooh, cramp in the foot. Okay, and remembering, one, that my bed is at an angle. You can really see it here. I'll try to scoot down some. And two, remembering that the bed gives more than a typical floor. So you may have to do things that cheat a little, like holding with your feet. I use fists for wrists to keep my wrists nice and straight. Always checking for posture. You want to make sure, I'm going to try to get as nice and straight as I can. That feels weird though. Making sure that the hip is over the knee and that the shoulder is over the elbow, is over the wrist. Back is straight, head is looking down. Nice straight spine, as straight as you can get it. We're going to do some cat-cows here. So inhaling, we always start with our hips, arching our shoulders, pulling our shoulders back, inhaling for cow. Full of breath, and again, starting with the hips, moving down the back to the shoulders, to the chin to chest on the exhale. Moving with your own breath. Really tighten when you get here. Try to really round those shoulders and that back. Same thing with cow. You want to really kind of stick those hips up and pull those shoulders back, chin up, exhaling down. And last set. And meeting a neutral spine. Some people call this tabletop. Going to put our weight on our right hand, which is not looking super straight right now. And we're going to lace our left arm under, bending our right arm, placing our left ear on the mat, being gentle. If we need to use props or pillows or straps, please do that, but just allow the body to relax. Again, full of breath. Just allow the body to relax. Sometimes I feel like I could just fall asleep right here. That would make a really embarrassing video, wouldn't it? And on the inhale, as much as I don't want to, we're going to rise up. So inhaling up and changing sides. Try to keep that breath down in the abdomen. Okay, and on the inhale coming up, we're going to be on our elbows, and we're going to I'm going to try to transition us into Sphinx, so we just sort of slide forward. Our arms are straight, our hands are in starfish hands, our legs are slightly splayed, our hips, sorry I have a cramp in my foot, our hips and our kind of lower belly are on the bed. Nice deep breathing here. Take a moment to notice how different it feels when you're actually breathing on your abdomen. Feeling it rise and fall. If this does not feel good on your lower back and maybe too much of a stretch, just go to the point that feels comfortable for today. You'll find that if you keep doing this, you'll get more flexible. It's almost impossible not to. Trying to keep those shoulders back, elbows at a 90-degree angle. Now we're going to straighten the arms in front of us. Just allow yourself a moment here. Every time we transition, it can be helpful to take a moment and just pay attention to the body, feel the breath, make sure you're getting nice deep breathing. You can lay on your head however feels comfortable. Really not wanting to get more cat hair on my lip gloss. Now what we're going to do, some people call this Superman or Superwoman, is on the inhale, we're going to tighten those abs and raise those legs and raise the arms slightly, kind of trying to reach for the headboard, and then exhaling down. But remember, always start with the lower abs. So inhaling and then finding the position and exhaling down, moving with your own breath. Being gentle. And last one. We're going to take that right arm, reach back and grab that right foot. It's called a half bow. You really should be feeling a stretch in that right calf, right thigh. But doing the same thing just to the point that feels comfortable for today. So when we inhale up, you want to push against that foot, tighten that right arm, and then exhaling down, moving with your own breath. Always remembering to start in the lower belly, in the abdomen, the diaphragm. If you don't like this, just go back to the other one. Tight, 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 pushing against that foot and release. Release the arm and the leg. Gentle breathing here. Now we're going to do the same thing on the left side if we feel up to it. So reaching back and grabbing that left foot, moving with your own breath. Reach and stretch. Really pushing into that right hand and left hand. Just one more. Releasing the leg, pulling the arm back up. We're going to take our hands. We're going to lace the fingers. Actually, no, we're going to stack our fists and just allow the neck to just relax. Pulling the shoulders down and allowing our hands to stack and support our foreheads. Trying to straighten the neck. Really feeling those diaphragms inflate. The lungs inflate. It feels so good. One more nice deep breath here. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to pull our arms to our shoulders. We're going to tighten our abs and push back, straight back into child's pose. Finding the position in child's pose that feels more comfortable for you for today. Remembering you may use pillows under the legs, under the bellies, under the head. Just find what's right for you and have your props nice and handy. Okay, we're going to do the combination that's the modified version on the bed. So we're inhaling up to modified plank. I'm going to try to make my arms look nice and straight for you. Okay, so modified plank, the hips are forward. They're not back like in table. So modified plank, the arms are straight, but the hips are slightly forward. And then modified crocodile, oh, my belly's touching, where you, basically what you want to do is keep those elbows in. A lot of people will do a push-up and they'll stick their elbows out like this. You want to keep those elbows in and then lean down, just slightly hovering, and then exhaling into modified up dog. And you may use fists for wrists, but in modified up dog, you just straighten those arms, hips on the bed, feet are pointed, and your head is back. And then exhaling back into child's pose. So moving with your own breath on this one, doing as many as feels good for today.
So you're inhaling and exhaling with each movement. I'm cheating and pulling my feet to help me balance. Let me pull back. And one more. Meeting back in child's pose. And in child's pose, of course, doing what feels comfortable for today. Breathing nice and deep. I have to be honest. I'm really, really wanting to do a downward facing dog, but I have no idea how the bed is going to react. I'm kind of talking myself out of it, but I really want to try it. So I'm gonna, okay, so we're gonna stretch our arms out right in front of us, and I may have to move because I'll be off the bed. Okay, arms are nice and straight. What we're gonna do first is we're gonna lean forward, turn our feet under, and then gently lift the hips up. The legs don't have to be straight yet. This might actually work. It's giving so much. Okay, so what you wanna try to do, at first you can keep your hips nice and bent. You can bicycle your feet, but you want to have as straight a back as possible, like someone is pulling up and back on your hips. And then you can bicycle the feet. I can't believe I'm actually doing this. And then when you're ready, you can try to straighten those legs out. Nice deep breathing. Believe it or not, this is actually one of the relaxation poses. So breathe nice and deep. Welcome to Yoga in Bed, Downward Facing Dog. Yay! Nice strong arms, nice straight back, nice strong legs. This may not be possible. Just do what you can. May not be possible for everyone. There's a lot more that I can do in Downward Facing Dog, but today we're not going to do it. So inhaling, putting those knees back. Feeling ourselves in table. And we are going to do some gates. And if you'll, excuse me, I'm going to close my blinds. I don't like it when it's dark. So if you remember the gate, so what we want to do first, make sure our hips are in a nice alignment with each other. And then what we do is, I'm going to pick this leg first. So I'm going to line my fists up. I'm not pushing anything yet. Nice straight arm. We're going to straighten that leg. So in alignment, we should have the foot, the hip and the knee, the shoulder and the fist, the arm. When we don't want to be leaning forward, we want our shoulders back. Try to find a way to balance in this pose. Looking up if possible. Nice deep breathing. I've been really missing my standing poses lately, so I'm going to try to modify them. I don't know if that downward dog was good for you, but it was awesome for me. I hope it was good for you. This is a little wobbly, kind of reminds me of yoga in the pool. Hold it for as long as you can. If your neck gets sore, look down or forward. If your hand gets sore, you can do what we call putting it in your back pocket, or you may rest it on the hip. Just a few more breaths here. Nice deep breathing. Pay attention to how it feels in different poses to breathe like this. Feel your muscles kind of pulling up and pushing down at the same time, and a little bit of tension. And then down with the arm. Careful with the transition. We're just going to change sides. So up on the knees. We're going to line up that fist. Line up that foot. Shoulder back. Arms up. And my hands are going like this, by the way. Starfish hands. I can't see them, but try to get them as in line with each other as possible. Nice deep breathing. Notice it may feel really different on the different sides, and that's okay. Always come out of these poses whenever your body tells you to. And if your body tells you, let's back up and try that one again, or this doesn't feel quite right, then you listen to your body, okay? And if I'm not telling you to do something and your body says you need to do it, then you listen to yourself, okay? I'm just a person who's trained in these poses and who's been doing yoga for 24 years. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to release, and we're going to find ourselves in a seated posture. Not wine, it's water. My little goblet. Okay. Note to self, don't wear lip gloss. All right, so we are in our lovely seated posture. We want to lean forward, make sure our sit bones are nice and strong, make sure our back is nice and straight, shoulders back, chin parallel with the bed. We're going to roll our shoulders up and back first. So roll up and back. Changing direction when you're ready. And resting those shoulders, resting the hands, nice and easy. Should not be hurting anywhere in this pose. So we're going to move into some lateral stretches, and I want to show you a couple variations, okay? So one of them is literally just lifting that arm up straight and like kind of pushing the hips down where you're lifting the arm, okay? Another version is the one I've done the most, which is placing the hand or the fist in a place that feels comfortable and stretching and actually moving the body towards the bed. So, you know, sometimes you can get really low if that's what you're wanting, but you don't want to raise or move the hips. We're just moving sort of with a straight spine, almost like we have one of those rulers in our back or something. So moving like this, and you really just want to stretch. So you could stretch like this, you could stretch all the way down, but we want to get those lateral muscles really nice and loose and flexible. So let's go ahead and move with your own breath. So always initiating. As we start, exhaling as we get into the pose. Really push. Now I know I didn't show you just the seated one where you're raising the other arm, but you're just changing arms just like I'm doing. Keep those legs and hips on the bed. I'm actually pushing with this hand, with a hand on the bed. I just realized that. So we're reaching and pushing off. Sorry if I didn't say that before. One last set. See, push. Push. And, okay, good. Shake it off if you got something to shake. I'm going to change which foot is in front. Okay, and again, nice straight spine, making sure that the head is in alignment with the back. We tend to kind of sit like this, myself included. So yoga really helps you be aware of healthy posture. All right, the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to stretch our upper chest and our neck. And so we're going to take a fist for wrist behind our butt. And what I want to do is not have it be too far, because what we want to do is bring the shoulder blades together and really get your hands close to your behind. Pull the shoulders back and then drop the head back if it feels okay. So you're just going to gentle. Try to adjust your breathing. Shoulders back. At any point, you can change and drop your chin, but just be extra careful. And gentle, leading with the chin. Dropping the chin to the chest. Breathing here. And now inhaling up. We're going to look over our right shoulder just nice and straight. Inhaling here. And gentle stretch, and then exhaling, go to the other side. Remember, they may not feel the same. And moving with your own breath. I have to keep reminding myself to pull my shoulders back, so try that too. And last set. And back to the center. And now we're going to take our hands and we are going to lace them together and bring them up over our shoulders. And if we feel up to it, so your biceps are by your ears, if you feel up to it, looking up and kind of pulling back just a little, it gives a gentle stretch to the upper back and lower back. My knees are starting to move like I'm actually a butterfly. That's awesome. Nice deep breathing, chin up. If you'd like to, you can do some of those from the last video. So I'm going to go ahead and do them. So tongue to the roof of your mouth for 10. And going for 10. And then the last one is jutting that lip out like you have an underbite for 10. You may want to turn your hands over. And pushing up and releasing those arms. What we're going to do now is transition
to do our final poses on our backs. So getting to a point that feels comfortable. And I'm actually going to do a ending with a relaxation this time, because if you are doing these at night, it can be really, really helpful. But first we have a couple twists to do. So arms in a T, knees pointing toward the sky, feet flat on the bed. Inhaling, pulling the knees up. Exhaling, letting the knees drop to one side, looking with your head to the other side. Nice deep breathing. On the next inhale, back to center, inhaling up. And then exhaling down, letting those knees fall in a comfortable position, looking over the opposite shoulder. Keeping the shoulders flat on the bed. If you choose, you may inhale up and exhale down and have a more movement. So inhaling up, exhaling down. Just remember to move your head to the opposite side and move with your own breath. Otherwise, you can do the slower ones where you have several breaths on each side. One more set. And back to center. I'm going to raise those legs up. I'm going to let those legs fall open just to the point that feels comfortable and a nice gentle stretch. Holding from the inside, nice and easy, just allowing those legs to really stretch. If you feel like flex and pointing, feel free. And taking the hands on the outside and pushing those legs together. What we're going to do is we're going to make big circles with our knees together. So moving in whatever direction you choose, trying to match it up with your breath if you can. And changing sides. And release in the middle. What we're going to do is place our feet flat on the bed. We're going to gently push up with our hips, place our hands and our elbows, so our hands are right underneath our behinds. And what we're going to do is we're going to just lay down and push up and release and push up, really using those shoulder blades on the bed. And one more. And this time we're going to keep those hands down. Let the behind go all the way on the hands. Straighten out those legs. We're going to pull our elbows in. Sorry, you can't see what I'm doing. So pull the elbows. Sorry, this is awkward. Pull the elbows so that they're at a 90-degree angle and the hands are underneath the hips. And then point those feet, activate those legs, and drop the head. Sorry, that was such an awkward transition. Try to pull those shoulders back, pushing in on the elbows, relaxing the head. We're not using any muscles, we're just relaxing the head. Active legs. Just do this for as long as it feels comfortable. If you need to release your shoulders and your elbows and then your head. Last breath here. So we're going to gently raise our heads and release those shoulders. I keep saying shoulders, I mean elbows. And now what we're going to do is we're going to find ourselves in corpse pose, allowing the feet to fall naturally, gently pulling in the shoulder blades. We're not using anything in our body. I want you to pay attention to the way your body feels and get into a very relaxing breathing pattern. For some of us, we may choose frog legs, pulling the feet so that our feet touch and our hips are a little bit in a different position. And for some of us, we may like to have our arms over our head, kind of mimicking what the legs are doing. We're going to gently bring our attention back to our body. Gentle stretching. We may do opposite hand, opposite foot. Some people call this picking the apples. So left arm's down while the right arm and right foot are flexing. So flexing, stretching. Ooh, it feels so good. And then we're going to bring our knees up and roll over into fetal position, being so grateful for our practice today. So grateful for our amazing, incredible, miraculous bodies.
I want to encourage you all to eat colorful foods, quite a variety. Eat the rainbow, fruits and veggies with less protein than some people might say. Just pay attention to what your body needs and lots of water. So grateful for our bodies. Grateful for this time. It feels like we're together even though I don't know who you are. Nice deep breathing. I'm trying to offer a variety of intensity, length, and different types of focus on each of these yoga practice videos. So I hope you'll find the ones you like. Try the ones that are new and see if you like them. And I'll keep making them. So I'm going to push myself up. So tighten those abs. Pushing ourselves up with our hands. Thank you for joining me today for Jay's Yoga in Bed, and Namaste.